First of all, Vinsanto is a traditional dessert, naturally dessert sweet wine of Santorini. First of all, it's a PDO label, it's protected designation of origin. That means we have some rules. For a wine, in order to be named Vinsanto, the wine must be made only here. We must use only local white indigenous grape varieties from the island, from Santorini. And we must mature it in oak barrels for at least 2 years. Here we mostly use the grape Assyrtiko because we have to use for at least 51% of the grape Assyrtiko in order to be named Vinsanto. And mostly here we use very old vines. You can find here vines more than 100 years old, because in Santorini we're phylloxera free and safe. We don't use the American rootstock, and the roots here, they're very important, they're very old, because we don't irrigate anything, and the grapes, they are very small, they're very concentrated, they have less water, so they have more sugar, and the Assyrtiko grape has high acidity. And so we take the grape of Assyrtiko, we sun-dry the grapes, we leave them on the ground under the sun for about 8 to 10 days, so they lose all of their water, and we have almost raisins. So we press the raisins, we ferment them in stainless steel tanks, and here in our winery we don't use any commercial yeasts. We use only the indigenous yeasts from the skin of the grapes. So during the fermentation, the yeasts, they're under stress, and after 4 or 5 months, the yeasts, they die. They can't survive anymore because the grapes, they are very concentrated. They don't have water, so they have a lot of sugar, and the yeasts, they can't survive and they die after 4 or 5 months. So we have a lot of residual sugar and pretty low alcohol. The alcohol, it can be more than 10%. And we have a lot of residual sugar, like 345 grams per liter. And then after the fermentation, that again, the wine is very thick, we have to mature it for a lot of years in oak barrels, and here in barriques, in French oak barrels of 225 liters. And we mature them for like more than 10, more than 15, more than 20 years. And because we have a lot of sugar, the wine, it will be never oxidized, so it can survive for many years in the barrels. And then we bottle them, and we can age it in the bottle for more than 20 years, more than 50 years. And after you open the bottle, you can have it in the fridge for about 5 or 6 months. It's a traditional wine of the island. It's really nice dessert wine, and you can have it like after the dinner in a small glass, or you can pair it with chocolate cake, with ice cream, or with very intense cheeses like the blue cheese. But imagine that the Vinsanto, all the locals, they used to serve it like a welcome drink, or they used to serve it in weddings here. It was like their special wine that they will serve it in special cases. And here in the Vinsanto we can find aromas, very complex aromas of dried fruits, raisins, figs, caramel, butterscotch. It is sweet, it is very sweet, but it is a nice balance, because we use this famous grape of Assyrtiko with high acidity, so we can have a nice balance in the body, in the mouth feeling, and it's the most traditional and famous white wine of the island, and everybody has to try it.